Hi, I'm Dr. Jared Gruhl with Gruhl Health Solutions, and after working with a lot of different clients over the years, I know that developing new dietary habits or nutrition programs can be very challenging no matter what time of year it is. But it can be especially hard moving into the holiday season just because there's so many more parties, reasons to celebrate, junk food, and things like that. So today we have invited healthy cooking expert Heather Broughton to discuss her top 3 favorite tips for making it through the holiday season as healthy as possible.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We are so excited you're here, and I love these top 3 tips because they helped me get through Thanksgiving. I don't even know what I would have done without them, so I think they're really important and they're really going to help us for Christmas. So let's just start out by talking about what these 3 tips are and how you want someone to go into it, what mindset.
That's a really great question, actually. So before we even get into the 3 tips, we're going to talk about kind of how to preface this, which is that whenever you're heading into the holiday season, or really any time when you're going to have like food temptations, things that are challenging for you, the first thing you need to do is you want to set an intention for yourself. And as well as that intention, you want to set a why. Here's a good example. A good example is I want to avoid overeating this season because I don't want to have an upset stomach when I'm spending time with my family. So your intention is that you want to avoid overeating, and your why is that you don't want to feel sick. So just that simple trick of setting that intention is really going to make these tips kind of go into action for you.
I think setting an intention is so important, and I think that's also a big part of why I was successful over Thanksgiving is because I remember last holidays and how much weight I gained, and I don't want to ruin all the work I did all year long, and I also just don't want to gain any of that weight back. So tell us about the first tip, the very first tip.
Okay, so the first tip, one of my favorites, super simple, is just don't have it in the house. So we're going to just start at basics. Holiday season, you are going to be faced with food, temptations, treats everywhere you go. You're going to have snacks in the break room. You're going to have big family dinners. So if you can make sure to control what's in your own house and that what you have in your own pantry and your kitchen is going to really nourish you and not going to tempt you, then that's going to get you a long way.
Definitely. If it's not there, you can't eat it.
Exactly. So don't go to the grocery store hungry. Don't put it in your house.
Perfect.
Just make your house sort of like a temple of health for yourself.
All right, so I know besides just not having something in your house, drinking a lot of water is also one of your best tips. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So tip number 2 is drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. This is such a simple one, and it's so, so important. You know, a lot of people they feel really sick all the time, and a lot of it is because of water. Honestly, we're just so dehydrated as a culture. And especially at the holidays when you're eating a lot of food that you might not be used to, and there's extra stress with family and travel, we're likely to be even more dehydrated. So set a goal for yourself on how much water to drink every day, and just try to stay on top of that as much as possible. We've actually when we go through stages of dehydration, we stop being able to notice the signal for thirst, and we start to recognize it as hunger. So we're going to be much more likely to overeat if we're not hydrated.
Definitely. I know just when I drink a glass of water, a big glass of water, I can't believe how much more full I am. And I think that really does make a big difference whenever you're going into a big meal. Tell us about the third and last really important tip.
So this is a really fun one, and it's also a simple one that can be hard to do, which is just eat before you eat. So if you know you're going into a big holiday dinner where you're going to have a lot of foods that you don't normally eat, don't go into that dinner really hungry. Eat a nice healthy snack before you go, or drink a really big glass of water to get yourself really nice and hydrated, so that when you're at that holiday dinner, you're going to be less likely to eat a bunch of food that you maybe wish you hadn't eaten later. So just remember to eat a little bit before you eat, and maybe really focus on nourishing yourself earlier in the day before that big meal.
Wonderful. I'm serious, Heather, those 3 tips got me through Thanksgiving, and I did really well because of those. So thank you so much for sharing those with us.
I hope they're helpful to everybody else. And just remember, the easiest thing to do is the easiest thing not to do. So keep that in your mind, and just simple steps go a long way.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.